Hold on now, sit up and lean in because I tell you something that's hotter than a July Sunday potluck in Texas. You think you woke up today with normal news. No. This is that look both ways before you cross the street kinda moment, the kind where India and the United States aren't just trading goods. They're trading real geopolitical punch lines. Now look at me, I'm Steve Harvey on this political stage. I got my suit jacket straightened. I'm giving you that mental stare of disbelief because y'all really trying to tell me the U.S. slapped a 50% tariff on Indian goods 50%. That's not a tariff, that's a financial New Year's resolution for the Indian export economy wherein you promise to pay half your income just to stay in business. That's serious and it came down like a hammer because of one thing, energy choices. The U.S. says India's continued purchases of Russian oil, even after Moscow's war on Ukraine, is unacceptable, and now American doors are taxed up to half the value of exports just to get in. Do I have your attention? You better believe it. Reuters plus one now look at me again, I ain't even done. On top of that tariff blitz, and I'm talking about that you gotta be kidding me. Level tariff the U.S. rolled out $100 zeros, zero H-1B visa fee on new applicants. That's not a typo. $100,000. That's like getting charged the price of a house for a work permit. And India, home to more than 70% of all H-1B visas, historically, they're shaking their head about that one too. Is this trade? Or is this we just want to keep your talent out unless you pay us like we're selling beach front property vibes? The Guardian plus one now, I'm giving you that Steve Harvey stare because when trade policy starts looking like a family reunion where one cousin ain't speaking to another and is stealing all the potato salad you got problems. Let me break it down so you can feel it right here because this ain't abstract economics. This is real people, real jobs, real futures. Think about your neighbor who asks to borrow your lawnmower every week but never returns it. Then next Monday you charge them a 50% lawnmower tax every time they even look at your tool shed. Then you charge them $100 tool shed access fee. That's exactly what's happening between the world's two biggest democracies. One side says, we need energy security and growth. The other side says, pay up or step off. That's not just politics, that's a kitchen table fight that now has global consequences. And listen, this isn't a scrimmage on one corner of the field. This is full-on trade war theatrics where headlines aren't impactful or concerning. They're downright disruptive. You got industries, textiles, garments, gems, leather goods, shrimp all getting hit with these tariffs up to 50%. And Indian exporters in hubs like Tarapur and Surat feel in the heat already. That's jobs. That's families. That's community livelihoods, folks. The Indian Express now look at me because here's where it hits home. This stuff doesn't just stay in the news. It ripples. Consumers, businesses, investors, everyday citizens all feeling the squeeze. You think international politics is far away. No, sir, when two giants start flex, in tariff muscles and visa fees, it's like two big brothers fighting in the front yard. Everybody in the block feels that shockwave. So you might be asking, Steve, why's all this blowing up now? Well, hold my jacket, we're about to go deep dive into the why behind this. And I'm talking hard facts, not gossip from the bleachers. But before that, I want you to ask yourself this. Are trade and talent worth building bridges for? Or are we burning them for headlines and leverage? Part 2, the deep dive tilde 6,000 characters, all right. Listen to me now that I got your attention with that hold up. Wait a minute. Kinda Hook, it's time to straighten your tie and pull up a chair because we gotta get into the meat of this thing. I'm talking about the kind of deep cut analysis that makes you go, whoa, now I get it. First off, let's talk about the 50% tariffs. That ain't some random number Trump pulled out of thin air while sipping Diet Coke on Mar-a-Lago lawn. No, sir. This is the result of a long buildup of trade friction, starting with India's energy deals. See, India's been buying Russian crude oil at discounted rates, and the U.S. says, hold on now. We sanction Russia, but you're keeping the cash flow alive. That's a problem, and America. They decided to slap 50% tariffs on a whole laundry list of exports: textiles, leather goods, gems, precious stones, shrimp, and even some tech components. 50%. That's not a tap on the shoulder. That's a full-blown shove into the street. Now here's the kicker: India isn't just standing there like a deer in headlights. No, India's doing a strategic pivot toward China and Russia. I call it the Chinese checkers move. Because if you think diplomacy's all hugs and handshakes, think again. India's signing deals for energy, defense technology, and even AI collaborations with Beijing and Moscow. That's like your cousin borrowing your barbecue grill, then tacking it to the neighbor's house to impress their friends, and you can't say a thing. BBC. Hold on, let's not forget H-1B visas. Y'all remember the good old days when Indian engineers and tech talent were welcome in the U.S. for about $10,000. Now it's $100,000 per visa, $100,000. That's not just a tax, that's a talent chokehold. And why? Because the U.S. wants to protect American workers and negotiate leverage in tech and AI sectors. But here's the truth. India supplies the majority of H-1B holders, and now that flow of talent is slowing. That has ripple effects on Silicon Valley, on startups, on your favorite apps that get built overseas. Forbes. Now look at me, I gotta tell you about the defense angle, because this ain't just about trade. India's been flex in its military muscle, and guess what? The U.S. is taking notice. From drone swarms to hypersonic missile prototypes, India's tech has progressed so fast that even the Pentagon is sitting there like, wait, y'all got that already. That's not fear mongering, that's fact. Theprint. In India's weapon programs are modern, indigenous, and strategically versatile, and that's part of why U.S. India relations are tense, because now it's not just trade, it's global power projection. And don't get me started on Pakistan and the ceasefire talks. Trump swoops in, the ex-president, and brokers a deal. India and Pakistan, historically on edge, suddenly have a fragile peace. But let me tell you, in politics, peace is like a souffle, looks solid, but one wrong move and it collapses. Meanwhile, the U.S. is watching and saying, we got to keep influence in South Asia, or China and Russia will eat our lunch. That's the strategic pressure cooker right there. Al Jazeera. So what's going on? Let me break it down Steve Harvey style. Economic pressure. The U.S. wants to keep India on a trade leash. Tariffs and H-1B fees are the leash. Strategic pressure. India's pivot to China/Russia is like a chess game with pieces moving faster than most politicians can follow. Defense awareness. India's weapons tech makes Uncle Sam squint at the scoreboard like, hold on now, they got their own rockets. Diplomatic balancing act. Trump's ceasefire attempt is the friendly uncle in the neighborhood trying to stop a fight before someone loses a tooth. Y'all see it now. This isn't just numbers on a chart or random headlines. This is the world watching a high-stakes poker game, and India just went all in with energy deals, defense tech, and talent retention. The U.S. is raising the ante with tariffs and visa fees, and you're sitting on the sidelines feel in the heat. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an engineer, or just buying imported electronics. And here's the part that'll really make you blink this tension. It's the new normal. Global politics isn't slow like Sunday church sermons anymore. It's fast, unpredictable, and personal. Your paycheck, your career path, the tech you use every day, all intertwined in this trade, pivot, flex, negotiate cycle. So now, look at me. I tell you something you need to carry to your living room, your office, your study. Understanding why this is happening is step one. Step two, knowing what it means for your life, your family, and the global stage. And that brings us straight to part three, the what's next. And Steve Harvey motivation, where I break it down for you so clear, even your neighbor who never returns your lawnmower will understand part three, what's next, and Steve Harvey motivation tilde 6,000 characters all right. Listen to me, I got my suit jacket on, my eyes squinting like I just saw someone put ketchup on a perfectly good steak, and we gotta talk about what this all means for you, me, and the world. I tell you something, the last two parts weren't just to make you nod along. Nah, this is the part where you walk away smarter, sharper, and ready to handle reality like a grown-up. First, off the tariffs, 50% on Indian goods, that's gonna affect prices everywhere. Textiles, jewelry, electronics, your wall, it is feeling it. Imagine going to the store for a shirt or a gadget, and you got to shell out double the money because two countries can't play nice. That's real. That hits the average person right where it matters. That's the family reunion where everyone's arguing over who brought what dish a moment. And look at me, the thing is, you gotta plan, prepare, and pivot. Don't just complain, understand the supply chain. Look for alternatives. Buy local, invest. Smart. Now let's talk about H-1B visas and talent flow. The $100,000 visa fee isn't just numbers on paper, that's a game changer for tech, innovation, and startups. Silicon Valley, Austin, Bangalore, all gonna feel the squeeze. But here's the lesson. Adaptability wins. India is investing in homegrown innovation. Tech hubs like Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Pune, they're not waiting for a U.S. visa to succeed. And you, young person, gotta take that same energy. Learn new skills, diversify, and don't put your future in someone else's pocket. Then there's the strategic pivot toward China and Russia, the Chinese checkers move. That's India saying, we're not just gonna follow your rules, Uncle Sam. We got our own game. Look at me in your own life. Sometimes you gotta pivot, negotiate, and look at the bigger picture. Don't get stuck in one lane. Opportunities are global now, and the world is watching India play the long game. Energy security, tech autonomy, military strength. You can take notes here. Power comes from being prepared and having options. Let's not forget defense technology. India's weapons advancements are making even the U.S. raise eyebrows. That's a lesson for all of us. Don't underestimate growth behind the scenes. Just because someone isn't loud about their progress doesn't mean they're not making moves. In your life, that's skill, building, financial literacy, and personal growth. Quiet but consistent preparation pays off, and the India-Pakistan ceasefire, that's history in motion, y'all. Trump's diplomacy may be controversial, but here's what it shows. Leaders make moves, sometimes risky, sometimes unconventional, but the stakes are real. Your takeaway, action matters even if the path isn't perfect. Hesitation can cost more than bold. Calculated moves. Now look at me, here's the Steve Harvey motivation you need to remember. Understand the game. Knowledge is power. Know why tariffs exist, why talent fees soar, why alliances shift. Don't let headlines confuse you. Study the patterns, adapt and pivot. Just like India with its Chinese checkers move, find new ways to grow, learn and survive. Opportunities are never one directional. Prepare quietly, strike boldly. Defense tech, energy security, career skills all build unseen strength. Don't brag, just improve, be resilient. Trade wars, visa hikes, diplomatic tension. It's messy out there, but resilience turns challenges into advantages. Think like a player, not a pawn. This is bigger than just India and the U.S., bigger than trade, bigger than politics. This is a life lesson in strategy, foresight, and courage. You can watch the news, complain on social media, or you can take it in, learn from it, and apply it. That's the difference between someone who waits for life to happen and someone who makes life happen. So hold on now, I tell you one last thing. The world is changing faster than ever. Tariffs, talent, alliances, tech, weapons are interconnected, but here's the bottom line. Your growth, your skill set, your ability to pivot and adapt, that's your power. You can't control global politics, but you can control how prepared you are to survive and thrive in it. That's the Steve Harvey style. That's real talk. And remember, don't wait for someone else to give you permission to succeed. Don't let a $100,000 visa, a 50% tariff, or a diplomatic spat scare you. Learn, adapt, and level up. That's how winners play the game on their own terms. Now look at me, straighten your jacket, pick your head up, and remember, the world challenges are big, but your vision and preparation gotta be bigger. That's it. That's your takeaway. That's the motivation. Go out there, study the game, and play smarter than everyone else. End of part 3. Script complete if you want. I can also polish all 3 parts into a single seamless Steve Harvey style YouTube script with timestamps, stage directions, and high retention cues for cuts and visuals. It would be red-eye to record. Do you want me to do that next?